So I wasn't planning on making a video this late, guys. Currently, it's about 9:45 p.m. on the East Coast. I was about to, hang out with my fiance, maybe watch a show. What show are we watching? I think we're watching a show called Silo right now. We just started it, not bad. But I had to make a video on this news, guys. We got news out of Virgin Galactic, which is sending the stock up over 40% right now after the bell. And at one point, it was up, I think, 60%. I mean, we closed at $4, ran all the way to $6.50. Yeah, 58.5% is what we saw. That was a massive move, guys. So we're going to break down the charts, talk about what I'm doing, because believe it or not, and I haven't talked about this in a while, but I do have a spec position in Virgin Galactic. So I'm going to update you guys on that, and we're going to go over just what's going on, right? My thoughts, all that good stuff. So if you all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and let's just dive right into what's going on here, the charts, all that good stuff, what I'm doing. So again, this is up 40% right now after the bell. We're at, what are we at now? 584. So we did pull back a little bit after we saw that initial run to 650. We pulled back about, let's see here, about 10.5% from that 650 high. But again, we're up 40% still over that, actually like 43% after the bell right now. And if you guys take a look on the 4-hour chart here on Virgin Galactic very quickly, then we'll take a look at what's actually causing the stock to move. We can see we're approaching the highs now. This is actually a very big resistance from the beginning of February into the middle end of February, where we hit around 650, 660, guys. That's where we actually hit after the bell. Again, you guys can see we hit that point, initially on that big move, and then we pulled back a little bit. So that is a level here in the short term that, let's be honest, needs to break. And if we do start breaking 650 into the sevens, that's where bulls could really push this thing even higher. And you guys know, we're nowhere near all-time highs on this stock. I think the all-time high is $66. Let's see how good my memory is, guys. I'm going with $66 here. Let me pull up the max chart. What's the all-time high? $62. All right, $63. I was a little bit off there, but this thing is, there's a lot of ground to cover. Let's put it that way, guys. So my alert is set. Where did I put it at? 7? I forgot now. Holy crap. Where did I put it? Yeah, $7. Might as well put another one at 650. And now let's talk about the news. Then we'll break down what I'm looking to do and maybe more about kind of my past here with Virgin Galactic stock, because I've held it for quite some time and I traded it a bunch. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, so make sure you guys stick on throughout this entire video. It won't be too long. I promise, guys. It's late and I want to watch some Silo. So bear with me here, guys, and I'm going to do this quickly. Let me switch over to Safari so you guys can see Virgin Galactic sets first commercial space tourism flight for this month, and share spike obviously more than 40%. Again, at one point it was up 60%, which is nutty. And you guys know, if you've been in the stock for quite some time, or if you've just been tracking it, you know this is not out of the ordinary. Whenever we get news around a flight, the next flight, that's what moves the stock in both directions, right? In both directions. Trust me, it's gone down like 30% on days before, more than that. It's been crazy, right? Been a crazy ride. And we'll talk more about, again, what my history with the stock is here in a little bit. So we can see here, if we come down a little bit, and if you have not watched the actual videos of these spacecrafts, guys, pretty interesting stuff. Go on YouTube and watch the videos. I think it's pretty fascinating. And mind you, this is a speculative position for me. Full disclosure, I do own some shares, and I've held for quite some time, probably a couple of years at this point. So Virgin Galactic aims to launch its commercial space tourism service in late June, and shares of the company spiked more than 40%, yada, yada, yada. And Virgin Galactic said on Thursday, which is today, they said the flight called Galactic 01 is targeting a launch window that opens June 27th and runs to June 30th. Virgin Galactic then plans for its second commercial flight to follow, quote, in early August with, quote, monthly commercial flights after that. Galactic 01 will carry 3 members of the Italian Air Force to conduct microgravity research with science payloads. I'm actually interested to see how that ends up playing out. You guys can see here the company completed its final test space flight in May and said Thursday that it completed, quote, routine analysis analysis and vehicle inspections of its carrier aircraft VMS Eve and spacecraft VSS Unity. And of course, Virgin Galactic's first space flight has been a long-awaited milestone for the company to begin flying its backlog of about 800 passengers. And if you guys didn't know, it costs a lot to get a ticket on these flights. So 800 passengers, I think it's what, $250,000, unless they've changed it since the last time I've looked. This has kind of been a stock, guys, that I bought and I haven't paid attention to in the past year and a half, to be honest. I kind of bought and forgot about it. So last I checked, it was $250,000. Did they change that? I don't think they changed that. But either way, it's a lot of money. So do the math. Backlog of 800 passengers. Let me do that math very quickly for you guys here. Rough math, right? 800 times $250,000. We're talking about here, let's see, is that 20? Yeah, it's 20 million or 200 million. Holy crap. Yeah, it's $200 million. So yeah, that's a lot, guys. That's a lot of revenue on the backlog there. And of course, you guys know the company was founded by Richard Branson. We're not going to get into that in this video, but this is good news, guys. We're launching for the first commercial space line for Earth with 2 dynamic products, our scientific research and private astronaut space missions, Virgin Galactic CEO Michael Koglazer said in a statement. So good news for Virgin Galactic, guys. Whenever we get more progress towards getting customers actually flying out there, the better it is for the company. Of course, we want to see 2 steps forward, and yes, we're going to get a step backward sometimes. There's been problems with this company, but we want to continue to see the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 forward, 1 back. We don't want to get a bunch of setbacks, right? This is the type of company that needs a lot of things to go right. It needs a lot of things to go right, and fingers crossed. I mean, sure, there's been tragedies. We're not going to get into that in this video with this company to get to where it is right now. I'm sure you guys know if you've tracked it. But, it's one of those companies that now that it's figuring things out, it could be a money-making machine. We'll see how it ends up playing out. Of course, it's very risky, guys. And now let's go back to the charts and talk about what I'm doing, my history with the stock, and kind of where I think we could be going here in the short term. So again, this is a speculative holding for me, and I traded it a bunch about 3 years ago. I think this was right before Corona hit, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was during this time period. It was around February of 2020 because I remember I was in Disney, and this is actually, I've told this before here on the channel, guys. So I was in Disney trading on my phone, and this stock was going up like crazy. I mean, this thing was in the 60s back then, guys. And we remind you at about, $15 in October of 2020. And by the beginning of 2021, we were at $60 per share, which is nuts. Actually, wait a second. When was it? I actually might have to go on the max chart. Wait a second, guys. So this is where I started trading it. Okay, in 2020, that's what it was. February 2020, we had a run to about $40. And before that, a couple weeks before that, it was at, $7, $8. So we had a huge run, made some money there. And then I started buying shares on the dip after that run of 40. And I bought shares and got my average to about, I think, 16. And that's where my average is right now. If I remember correctly, it's either 16 or 11. Again, I haven't checked it in a while, and I probably should have checked it before this video. But the funny thing is, the probably stupid thing on my part, guys, is I watched it go all the way from my average cost of 16 or 11, whatever the heck it is, and I watched it go all the way to $62, and I didn't lock profits. I probably should have. I think I might have trimmed a little bit, but probably should have got out of that. I made a nice gain on paper, but didn't realize all that gain, right? Rode it all the way back down pretty much to break even, right around $15. I think my average is 16, actually, now that I think about it. Either way, guys, whatever the heck it is, then I rode it right back up to 60 again, didn't lock in gains, and here we are now. It's at what, $4, $6 after the bell. So I'm getting destroyed, guys, no doubt. I'm getting destroyed, but to be honest, I don't really care because it's a speculative position, and even if I took the profits, I mean, it wasn't life-changing money anyway. So at this point, I'm just letting the stock ride, and I figured at that point when it went right back down to 16 again or 15, $20 again, I was like, at this point, I didn't lock the profits in on the 2 spikes we had might as well just let it ride. That's kind of the way I've thought about Virgin Galactic and still think about it today, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. And mind you, I'm not looking to buy any more shares. I'm just holding on at this point in time. Full disclosure, that's what I'm doing. What are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments. And with that being said, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. And don't forget, I almost forgot to mention, to get up to 17 stocks for Moomoo, the sponsor of today's video, each of those stocks could be up to $2,000, guys. All you have to do is use that link down below or go to stocksurfs.com/Moomoo. Once you open up your account and fund it with at least $100, you get a free share of C3AI stock, which today went up to $46 a share. And on top of that, you get 5 more shares of stock, each up to $2,000. And the C3AI stock's actually exclusive to this channel. And if you fund your account with at least $1,000, guys, you get 10 more stocks on top of those 6 stocks, totaling 16 stocks. And fund your account with at least $5,000, guys, on top of the 16 stocks, you get 1 more free stock of either Tesla or Google, guaranteed. I'm telling you guys, this is the best promo right now, so get on it. Clock's ticking. And of course, it helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you all in the next video.